Hey everybody, welcome back to Around the Emirates podcast with Sara Mousa, where I speak to guests from across UAE about topics you want to hear about. Today I'm joined by the lovely Naila Shabeer. Hello.
Hello, Sarah. Thank you very much for calling me.
Of course, it's always a pleasure to have such empowering women on the show. So Naila is a life transformation coach and she has a fantastic story that she wants to share with you today. So please tell me your story.
Of course, Sarah. So as I said again, thank you very much for inviting me here. My name is Naila Shabeer. A little bit about myself. So I was born in Dubai, raised by Indian parents. So Dubai is home for me. I've been here for 41 years of my life.
Whoa! Yes. sorry, mic drop right there. Anyway, continue.
Yes, so I've literally seen how UAE has grown
Got it.
all of these years. And it's phenomenal. I mean, the growth of the country and the leaders here is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been here all my life. And about myself, so I did my education here, everything, and then I landed my dream job in Emirates Airlines, which I think everyone wants to, like, oh my God, I'm going to join Emirates. That's the thing that everyone loves.
Love it.
So at the tender age of 18, so I got the job and then I was enjoying myself. And that's when I think Cupid struck and I fell in love. Yay. So in 2009, I got married. Right from day one, there were red flags, which I think I didn't notice because I was young and in love, and you know how things are. So that happened. And then in 2010, just in 1 year, I was blessed with the apple of my eye, my boy. His name is Azan.
Oh, nice.
So, I mean, life just changed after that. There were red flags from day one, but
Right.
I think, as I said, because of the love and because of the baby and everything,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize until I think, like, to a certain point when I was like, oh my God, what's happening? What am I doing? Like, I think when you mature with age and experiences and everything, and then you take a step back and you're like, what's happening with your life?
Right.
So that happened. And then I tried to get the support of my parents and my siblings and people around me, like, give me some advice. Like, what should I do? Like,
Right.
should I continue like this or whatever? And everyone around me was like, yeah, stay for the baby. Don't worry. It will change. It will be fine. All of that. Till 2018. So 9 years of a loveless, abusive marriage. In 2018, I think that's when I had matured enough and I realized I think it's time now to
Right.
at least separate. Let's separate and let's see how it works. So then me and my ex-husband right now, so we decided that let's separate. It will be for the betterment of the child and let's try. Let's see how it's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was a good decision for both of us.
Mhm.
Then in 2020, COVID. So just in the peak of COVID, like that, I think like obviously COVID had the goods and the bad sides. There were a lot of bad sides to it. But the good side, I think people got the moment during the lockdown to be at home, be with family, So I think that was a lot of self-reflection time for me as well, when I was like, I
Sure.
think it's time for me to just take everything in my hand and get it done. So in COVID, during the peak COVID was when I decided that I think it's time for the divorce. So I did it all alone in Abu Dhabi with just one close Arabic-speaking friend of mine. The reason again is because all the court and everything that happens here is in Arabic. So then this was the only friend who knew what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And he helped me with the translation, with filling up the forms, everything. The best part was everything was online because it was COVID. So I didn't exactly. I didn't actually have to meet people and explain my stories and
Right.
run around the court and nothing. So everything was online. Everything was seamless. It went very smooth. And during that period, like from 2018 when I separated and then till 2020, there were a lot of therapy sessions that I went to. There was a coaching session that I did as well.
Nice.
And again, like people think it's a taboo.
Mm.
People think that no therapy, no, I don't need therapy. No, I'm not depressed. No, I'm not. So I think when I went for something like this and I found the positive changes within me, my mindset changed, me as a person changed completely. And I think that is what gave me the courage in 2020 to actually do something like this. So I didn't inform anyone in the family, again, because, again, raised by Indian parents. So in the Indian culture, it is very, very difficult, I would say, to go through something like
Therapy
this
is still
alone.
kind of a topic that people don't necessarily want to get into. They feel like it doesn't work, so I get that.
Exactly. But it works. Trust me, it works. Live example. So so that's what happened. And then finally got the divorce, November 2020. And I got full custody of my child as well. It was very smooth. Like, again, divorces, there are times when it gets really messy, and then, the custody of the child and then the financial aspect and all of that. Mine, alhamdulillah, touch wood, was super smooth. It went very fine. He was okay with everything. And then we parted ways. That's it. I felt the freedom.
Nice.
And that is when I decided that I am going to do something in my life wherein I want to help women that are going through relationship issues or divorce traumas or, similar, because I have a story to share.
Of course.
So that is what happened. And then in Abu Dhabi itself, I got a dream job. So that is something I was working in for the past 6.5 years. Which also started getting toxic by the end. So the past couple of years when I was working in this company, the leadership and everything changed. And we actually got micromanagers and people who were like...
It's the worst.
Oh my God, yes.
It's the worst.
Yeah, so that was draining my energy as well. So everything on the personal side of things was going fine. And the professional side, suddenly this started happening.
Right.
But because I was a changed person with all the therapy and everything I've gone through, I was like, no, I'm not going to let this bring me down. And that's when I decided to get my coaching certification because, as I said, I wanted to help women, empowering mindsets and all of that. So, and I wanted to do this on a professional basis. And the only way I could do it is if I would get a certification and then, people would believe in things like that.
Right.
So I cashed in on the opportunity, got my certification done and resigned from my toxic job.
Yay!
So again, the feeling of freedom for the second time and started my own venture.
Oh, lovely.
Exactly. So now what I am doing basically is the name of my company is Lighten Up. And as part of the coaching journey, I help women to empower their mindsets, eliminate limiting beliefs. If you're stuck in a relationship, again, it does not mean that because of the sake of children or, let's move on. It's fine. Tomorrow is a new day. And again, that also does not mean that I'm telling everyone, go get a divorce. That's not what I'm trying to say. There are ways in which, just with conversations, I feel things can change and improve. So that is a little bit about me.
That's amazing. Firstly, well done on being able to kind of look at things from such a bright, perspective. Obviously, going through that kind of experience, it does change you, but for the better, and it is all lessons at the end. And the fact that you turn that into a whole life transformation coaching journey is fantastic. And you rightfully so. You said that women shouldn't necessarily think that divorce is the only option if that's only if that's what they want to do and if they feel comfortable. But don't feel trapped, have the option, don't make it such a taboo topic and make sure that they feel supported. So obviously you've gone through so many challenges, until you got to this point. When it came to kind of your coaching certification journey and kind of that mindset of trying to make therapy seem more of a good thing, what would you say was something that you felt like you had to strongly overcome?
I think, again, because being raised in a very strong Indian culture, even I think the first step towards, yes, I'm doing therapy. And again, this was something which, the kind of a person I am, I am all about conversations and I love people around me. So I am an ambivert, like I always say, I feed off people's energy.
Girl, me
so
too.
Yay, that's why we connected.
There we go.
Yes. So the thing is, I felt like I want to share this with someone. I want to tell someone I'm thinking of going for therapy. So do you think it's a good thing? Do you think I shouldn't? All of that. But there was something in me was like, Naila, just go and do it. Do your first session and then see if it actually brings about any, mental changes or something in you. And then maybe go and share it with others. Now, this was something very difficult for me. A person like me who, loves speaking to people, going, meeting friends, sitting for coffee, talking about everything that's happening in my life.
Yeah.
This was a part which I felt, let me just do it for myself without sharing with anyone. So that is what I did. So signed up, again, did my research because, again, therapy is not something like you can just Google and find the first person and just go for it.
Right.
Yeah, and therapy is expensive. So obviously it's an investment. So I asked a few people around and really good ones in Dubai itself. And so that's it. And then I went for my first session. The first session itself, I felt, there were a lot of tears, of course, because of the stories and the childhood, and they bring literally,
all of that.
They bring the childhood trauma back and all of that. And that's when you start realizing that, the childhood played a big factor in what you are today.
Of course, yeah, of course.
So that happened, and after that is when I went and shared with my friends that I'm going through something like this. Obviously, there were some who were really supportive, and then some were like, "What? Are you mad? Are you that depressed? You just come and speak to us. It's fine. Don't spend money."
Yeah, they don't take it seriously. They think just like a cup of coffee with friends, and you'll find, but there are some more deeper issues in that sometimes.
And that's when I was like, now I know who are the friends I should be keeping. And, like they say, like, even if you just have one friend who is
Right.
the biggest support that you have, you don't need the others. you
Yeah,
know?
of course. One is worth 1,000 at the end of the day. For
Exactly.
The genuine
And usually it's like one is a friend, the rest are just acquaintances. So you should
Yeah.
always realize that there is a fine line between who is your friend and who's not.
No, of course.
Yeah. So during this journey of mine, I think I did realize that everyone is not real. There are so many fake ones around you. Therapy helped a lot. And then there was a well-being coach, a really lovely lady from Lebanon. So I went to her, and then she had given me a few exercises to do and all of that. And that's when, as I said, I could feel the difference in me.
Right.
My mindset changed. The way I started looking at things changed. My limiting, like everyone has this negative voice in their head.
Of course.
Like anytime you're trying to do something new, there is something like, don't.
Yeah.
You might fail at it. So I felt all of that just disappearing. Like I could feel it just going away. I started feeling healthier, happier. I mean, these are very small things, but things like I used to walk out of the house and I actually heard chirping birds and felt happy.
This is so cute, you guys. This is actually so cute. I love this.
Like previously, because our life literally revolves around 9 to 5. You go out, you're rushing, you're going to work, you finish your work, you come back home, you're doing whatever, and you sleep. You don't wait to just realize this. And after I did my therapy and my well-being, the coaching thing and everything, like I used to literally walk out, and there were days I used to wait just to hear the birds. Like when my car, I switch on the car, I wait, I put the windows down, and I'm just sitting and listening. Like, and I never did this before. So I was like, just the chirping of the birds is making me happy. Like you can feel that, the nice warmth. So these things I started doing, and this was something which led me to the life transformation coaching that I did myself. Now, the differences that came into my life after I started this, and all the exercises that this coach of mine had told me, so I was continuously doing that as well. Journaling, by the way, writing is something that really helps.
Very true.
Because your little brain cannot keep everything inside. It's always good to put it down somewhere.
Yeah, especially all the negativity. Like you need to get that out of your system.
Exactly. So you put it down, and then that's something that gives you the feeling of like, okay, I have put it down there now. I don't think, I should be thinking about this. So journaling, I started daily. Like I used to go for walks outside. Again, as I said, chirping birds, all of that. Noticing the small little things. All of this I never used to do before. I started enjoying every single thing I was doing.
And that's so important. I feel like like you said, we're so stuck in our routines that we forget that there is a life is more than just about your 9 to 5. Of course, like your job is very important, but you also need to appreciate kind of the moments with families and the laughter you get on Instagram, for example, and making sure that you do disconnect from social media. You do make yourself laugh. Like if you're having a bad day, like take some time to, watch an episode of Friends, talk to a friend.
Yes.
But
Friends, oh my God.
I love Friends. I'm a huge Friends fan.
Same.
But you've definitely, a lot of the things that you have said so far have been super inspirational. And I feel like for me, hearing things like kind of taking the minute to appreciate the small things and journaling, it sounds very motivating. And I wonder, do you have any word of advice for women that are going through a similar struggle, or for people in general who feel like there's just a lot of negativity and they kind of want to release that?
Yes, the advice I would give, and again, this is coming from a very special place in my heart because this is everything I went through as well, is always keep yourself first. Self-love and self-happiness is the only way you can actually think of transforming everything in your life. So whatever negativity is surrounding you, whatever you feel like, oh my God, my life is stuck, I don't know what's happening, be it relationship, health, career, whatever in your life, and that feeling of like, oh my God, I don't know why this is happening. Around me, I see everyone's happy. First of all, don't believe everything on social media.
Preach.
That is so important.
Preach.
Seriously. Like people look at others, oh my gosh, she's on a beach in Maldives, I want to do that. And
she looks like that on the beach.
Exactly. You never know. She might be on the beach and she might be depressed, the most depressed person in the universe. But exactly. So don't believe that for sure. And self-love. You are the only person who can create your own happiness. So that is something, just believe in that and everything else will fall into place. And on that note, something when I spoke about my introduction and everything, during my life transformation coaching, when, as I said, I changed myself as a person, the 20-year-old Naila is completely different from the 40-year-old Naila right now. I found this person who understood me like no one else. In a room filled with people, like I could just look at him and he would understand everything that I just wanted to say, even when I didn't. And I never, like after my divorce, I thought that the institution of marriage was just, just a thing and people just sign papers and it's just for the name of it and sake of it and obviously to produce children. That's what everybody, thinks that we should get married for. So that happened. And then, so we again, like we were getting to know each other for 3 years. And then in June of this year, I got married.
Yay! Congratulations.
So that's so basically there's always hope. There is always hope.
Of course.
And that is why I really want to help women to come out of their, the conservative mindset that no, this is not going to work. And oh my God, my life is living hell. Nothing like that. I have been there. I have seen the transformation. I have done it myself. As I said, self-love is super important. The minute you start thinking of yourself, your body, your everything as you are the most beautiful human on this earth, everything starts falling into place.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for being on the show with me today,
Thank
Naila.
you.
That was a very uplifting message on a beautiful Sunday. And if there's anybody who wants to reach out to you, they can reach out to on Instagram, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for sharing those empowering words. I'm sure a lot of women especially will really appreciate hearing that kind of message of positivity. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sarah. This is so beautiful and I felt amazing.
I'm so glad. That's what I'm here for. Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.